We are live. ¿Qué está pasando, mi gente? We are back at Shop Chop 773 podcast today. How's everybody feeling today?
Good.
Feeling good? You guys watched the Super Bowl yesterday?
Yeah.
Who'd you guys go for? Were you
49ers.
49ers? We're going to say it was 49ers versus Swifties.
Yeah.
49ers.
Man, that was a big upset, bro. I know a lot of people wanted the Chiefs to win, but
That was
it
that was rigged.
That shit was
rigged?
scripted.
That's what everybody was saying.
Yeah,
You
it
think
was
it was scripted
Yes,
because of the Swift? Because of the Swifties or what?
it's possible. I'm pretty sure it had a lot to do with the decision they had to make. Cause not for nothing, Taylor Swift is like one of the biggest. She has one of the biggest following in the
100%.
world.
Yeah.
You include her in NFL, and then NFL just made a shitload of money.
Hella money.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's dive in it. So one of the first questions is, are you a friend that will pick up a tab when you go out with your guys, or do you guys split it? Or does one pick up the tab, the next time you guys go out, another one picks up the tab, and you guys split?
For me and my group, well, you're included in my group, but for us, I think we argue. We tend to argue for who's picking up the tab. No one's just like, hey, we're gonna split this bill, divide it into 3, divide it into 4. It's like, nah, I got this one. Don't worry about it, guys. And
But
then-
why? Why do you feel like the obligation to pay?
I don't know. Well,
Why-
me personally, it's my way of showing love. It's like, hey, thank y'all for coming out eating with me. I appreciate this. I needed this. It was like, I would say like a time to escape.
Do you feel weird, like, if somebody else pays for it? Like, is that a reason why you want to always pay, too?
I don't-
What if
I
you
wouldn't
go
say-
out? Like, what if you go out constantly with the same group of friends, and you're always like that person, like, let me pay.
Nah, it's gotta be.
If a friend does that, then I just stop going out to eat with them.
Then you start going out because it starts feeling awkward.
or I start beating them. So like instead of waiting for the waitress to come out to the table,
Hey, you
I
give her
walk
that
up to the
wink,
front.
like, hey, let me get the tab.
I
real
walk
quick.
up to the front. I'm like, hey, here, put this on my card.
Yeah,
Put it on my tab. So
I don't know. I feel like it depends on like how big the group is.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
going out with like hella people and there's like 5, 6, 7, 8 people, then it's like, all right, bro, like
Let's split it.
we can split it. You know what I mean? It's like too much. But if you're just going out with like you or one of your homies, like that's it. Then I don't think it's like that big of a deal.
if it's me and one of my homies, like just one on one, I'm taking the tab all day. I don't let you.
100%,
I don't
me
let you
too.
take the tab.
I feel like that's why we don't go out to eat 1-on-1 because we boxing for the tab.
Yeah,
Which
it's-
is weird because when you're a kid, it's like you get paid for your meal. You're like, yes. But now when you're older, you're like, no, I want to pay. It's like what changed in our minds where it's like we're fighting over who's paying for the bill.
I
it's
think it's
like-
a masculine thing. Though.
Yeah, it's like I got you.
Yeah,
It's like,
right?
I got you feeling.
Yeah.
But it's weird because like you do it out of being masculine, right? You're doing it out of being a man, but you're also not doing it in a way of like trying to baby somebody. You're not trying to down somebody. You're not trying to like. At least for me, I'm not trying to be like, nah, nigga, I got this. You know?
Yeah.
It's more like nah, I got you, bro. Like we brothers, we straight.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel weird like getting paid for.
Why?
I don't know.
Because you're used to paying.
Maybe because like I'm used to paying, and maybe just because maybe it's a control thing. I don't know. But it's just like
That could be it. It could be what's that called? When you do something but not realizing you're doing it. What is it called? There's a word for it.
when you do something, not realize you're doing it, just out of
Unconsciously.
unconsciously, yeah. I guess.
So that's what it is for you.
Yeah,
It's
I
not,
mean, if-
it's not that
it's
it's not that
different-
you purposely want to be in control, but you just
It's different if
It
you're gonna go to
just-
the corner and get like an elote or something like that, and it's like, you know, friend gets you one, it's like, all right, whatever. But like now you're going out like, hey, bro, like let's go out to this eat, and you know, each tab is like $30-$40. Like let's say you go to New Star or something, some fire, bro. It's like you already know
New
it's like
Star,
$50-$60 a person. He's like, hey, I got you. You're like, I don't know, dude.
you wouldn't
Like,
let somebody pay that.
No, I don't know, because then I feel like I'd feel obligated to, like, it's like, all right, well, now let's go out to eat tomorrow so I can pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was like, all right, the next time we go out to eat, like, what if we only go to
You
McDonald's?
feel obligated.
And I was like, all
so
I
you
gotta
feel
do is, like-
you feel like you're not giving
I'm not-
enough.
Yeah, exactly.
it's
It's
not
like,
a
damn, he just
50-50.
paid $70 for my meal, and I'm over here buying like a $15 Big Mac.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, bro,
I gotta give him like
Big
6
Mac
Big
damn near
Macs.
$20 now.
Wow.
Hold on,
Low
be
key,
smooth,
for
bro.
real. Low key, especially
Inflation
them-
hit the Big
them,
Mac.
Them double Big Macs.
Bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so for me personally, I would say I'm gonna try to pick up the tab. I normally rush to pick up the tab. Like, a couple weeks ago, I went out to eat with G Money real fast before going to pick up my son. And it's funny because he's like, "Hey, do they accept card here? Because all I got is card. I want to pay for the tab." And I made up this whole story that they didn't accept card. I'm like, man, they don't.
Bro.
I'm like, this restaurant's nothing but cash.
Hey,
bro.
he's gonna be listening to me like, that's some bitch.
Hey, and then I went up, right? And when she gave me the thing, I'm like, I double tapped, boom, put it down. And he was just like, I'm like, yeah. They don't accept actual, like, physical card. It has to be like, so.
Dude, I think trying to pay for Jordan's meal is probably like the hardest person to pay for. I
think
don't know why. Like, it's hard
it's
to like.
hard for me. Like,
But why?
especially, like, last summer, right? We would go out to eat. I would bring my son. So I'm ordering a whole extra meal for my son. Like, for the viewers, my son doesn't eat off the kids' menu. And it's not to brag or nothing, but I like to give my son actual food. He's not going to a fucking
No chicken nuggies.
no chicken nuggets. He's gonna eat some steak with me if I'm eating steak. If we go eat seafood, now he's getting his own shrimp. He wants his own crab legs. Like, he's at that
Yeah,
stage.
good.
Damn.
He does eat good. He does eat good. But like when I'm adding a whole extra meal, I feel bad because I'm like, I'm not gonna allow somebody to pay for me and my son. Like, if you wanted to pay just for me, all right, cool, I got you on the next one. But when it comes down to like me and my son, and I start feeling bad because the tab just went up an extra $40, $50. So well, usually when I would go out with them in the summer, I would throw most of the portion. So if the bill came out to 160, all right, I'll give it 100. Y'all can split the 60 if y'all want to split the 60. Or I would try to take the bill, but he's not going. I know for a fact he's not going. When it comes to buying him food, he doesn't go at all. He'd be like, bro, chill. I won't come out no more.
Yeah, I won't. You buy my
Nah,
food, I ain't
dude.
never going out to eat with you ever again.
Nah, dude, I remember arguing with this guy in what is it, Blue Light? Because I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hey, I got it. Let me get the next one. And bro,
He's
you were
like,
like, nah, dude, later. I was like, bro.
It's not even for food either. We've got into it before at Fremont. He took me out for my birthday, right?
Bro.
But listen, he took me out
But
for
that's
my
for your
birthday.
birthday.
No, but
Right, how you supposed to pay for your birthday, dude?
listen, Linda, listen. So he took me out for my birthday, right? And he didn't want to give me my tab as far as like what it cost for me to get in it, because we did a whole section. So, but I had my sister with me, and I also had my girl. So I'm like, bro, you're not paying for them too. Like, I'll pay for them. You could pay for me. We'll call it a day. And I try to give him money, and he wasn't grabbing it, so I threw the money at him. He picks the money up. He goes, never fucking throw money at me again, and passes the money to me. I'm like, bro, you're lit as fuck, and I'm trying to help you out, bro. And he took it. He didn't want to.
Yeah, dude. 'cause
He
I
didn't
mean,
want to
that-
pay for it.
That's a whole different situation. I feel like that's a different
The
situation.
next morning, I'm pretty sure he looked at his account. And he was like, "Fuck, who the fuck did I pay for?"
Hell no, I didn't. I didn't look at the account for like 5 days, and I was like, I ain't even gonna try to trip about that.
Damn, Fremont.
Yeah, 3 months live, bro. But I feel like there's different situations. You know what I mean? It's pretty much
Yeah.
just going back to like more like the meal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think it just all depends on the type of situation, how many people,
Yeah.
who you're with,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You know what I mean? There's gonna be like different misconceptions.
Franco, what do you think, Franco?
I was listening to y'all, and I was crazy because I just had a conversation with my guy about it because I went to and I know I just sound like a voice in the background, but
For the viewers, Franco's behind the screen. Franco,
yeah. And
Franco's
I used to be
whipping
a
it up.
barber too, by the way. So,
Yeah.
so I can talk a little bit about barber stuff, and I used to own a barber shop, so.
Man of many talents.
Yes, praise God. You know, God gives us gifts, man. It's our job to develop them,
Yeah.
and to trust in them, because a lot of people will trust in what they've learned in life instead of what they got that no one can teach them, and they don't realize that the key to life, that your gift will make room for you. You know, you don't have to be mad and working. You can be happy and working if you tap into your gift.
100%.
But with the eating thing, me and my guy, we was chopping it up because we was going through some, and we went to a live music spot. And he's a man. He's in his 50s. I think he's like 50. I'm in my mid 40s. So I'm used to paying for everything. No one pays for nothing for me. No one gives me a penny, right? Like, no one writes me any checks. Like, I take care of everyone around me. And he's the same type of way. So when we went out, first of all, there was a door cover. So I tried to pay the door cover right away. I'm like, oh, I got it. He's like, no, I got it. Like, I'm like, no, I got it. He's like, well, you pay for yours, I pay for mine. It made me feel some type of way. I'm like, why didn't he accept my money? And then we went to get a drink, and I'm like, oh, I got it. He's like, look, first of all, I'm not your woman, okay? I know you're used to buying stuff. He's like, I know you're used to buying stuff because you're a man. So he's like, I know you're used to being with your kids. You're used to being with a woman. You're used to buying stuff all the time. But he's like, I'm a man. You're not paying for nothing of mine. I'm going to pay for my own drinks. He's like, yeah, you can buy the first round. I'll pay the next round. But he's like, you're not going to have me feeling like a woman on a date. He's like, you're not. I'm every time I go with you, you're not covering the bill. I'm not your girl. You know. I'm like, you know what? That makes sense. Pay for your own shit. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead. But I never realized it like that because I'm so used to paying for everything, and he felt like, hey man, I'm not your girl. I'm a man. I pay for everything. Like that's how he felt. Like I'm the one who pays for everything. He was trying to buy all my drinks, and I didn't like how that felt because I'm like, nah, I'm not your girl. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to be
Right.
paying for all my drinks. So it was kind of weird. You know, I never really thought about it like that. But no, I don't like people paying for my stuff, and I always try to pay for people's stuff. But when I'm with guys, like especially when I'm with girls and stuff, like with my daughters, with my girl, and maybe her family or friends or whatever, I'll pay for everything. You know what I mean? But when it's just like me and the guys and stuff, yeah, I learned to fall back and be like, you know what? They're grown ass men. They finna pay for their own. They're not my girl. You know what I mean? Like I have a responsibility to some people, but not everybody. You know.
Right.
But I feel how you're saying like it's all love though. Like I want to treat my people, and I'll do that too. I'll treat my people. But it was just weird because I just had this conversation last week about people paying for my stuff, and I didn't like it, and he didn't like it. But that's how he characterized it. You know, he was like, "Hey man, I ain't your girl. You know, you do that when you with your girl, when you with your kids. That's all you do. You pay for everything, but not with me. You know, so."
So do you think it's a prideful thing? Like you think it's our ego?
Yeah, it was mine for sure. I didn't.
I think, yeah. I mean, I think that's a big play in it.
Yeah, but we're men. We have, you know, we want to do the best that we can. So ego has to play a part in that because if we don't have an ego, then where the competitiveness comes from? You know, we just be lazy and don't care about nothing. You know.
Seems about right.
But what's the biggest misconception about you, Isaiah?
But why y'all both look at
Come
me?
on, Z. What's the biggest misconception?
Go, you go first. You go
No,
first.
no. I would like to hear your answer. I know mine.
Misconception.
Yeah.
Like how you come off. First,
What about like about yourself? Like, what do people like? What's the misconception about you that maybe like other people think about you that might not be true?
True. Yeah.
I heard a lot of people think like they told me that before they like got to know me that they thought I was like stuck up or like didn't have a heart or some shit like that.
Okay,
But, you know.
What's yours, Trace?
mine.
Yeah.
Honestly, bro, like I don't know. Like I think I'd like someone from the outside would have to tell me, like what's the misconception about myself. I think sometimes like I'm just so like in my lane and in my zone that I don't really notice like a misconception about
Being said
myself.
about you, I would say your biggest misconception is people judge you based off being white.
Being white.
Yeah, that'll be your biggest misconception. Like they think everything was handed to you, and me being a close friend of yours, I know the steps you had to take to get to where you're at.
I do hear that a lot.
So
I mean,
so I would say that's the biggest misconception about you. Like, oh, he's white. You know, he probably had a mom and a dad that helped him out. If you really known him, like, it's like,
Yeah.
nah, this,
Yeah.
he was out here hustling, grinding. Yeah, he got to where he was at for a reason.
I mean, I could see that. There's been a lot of, you know, side remarks and little like jabs and stuff like that here and there, especially like working in the shop where they're like, oh yeah, you know, here and it's like, oh, you know, I've done this or like I have this, and you know, people are like, oh, that's that white privilege. And it's like, I mean, I understand, but I was like at the same time, like I've had to take necessary, like I don't come from a trust fund. You know what I mean? Like, cool, like my mom bought me my first car when I was 15 years old. You know what I mean? But that was like a $500 pickup
At
truck.
15?
Or 16.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
like,
at 16 years old. But I mean,
Moms
He's
was looking
crazy.
out.
you know,
Moms was looking out.
you know, it was like my first car was a 1990 Toyota pickup truck, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I started learning how to work on cars and stuff like that. But everything else, dude, my first job was 16, 17, working in pizza places, saving money. So everything I've done was always through myself. So it's like I could see people having like that white privilege is like this
Misconception.
misconception of myself.
Yeah, that's a good one.
How about you?
Mine? I got a lot of misconceptions, bro.
What do you feel like is a main one?
that I'm shiesty. I think they based off the
Take
tattoos.
that mask off.
I ain't gonna lie, dude.
Take that mask
when
off,
I
bro.
first
Look,
went to you, I
see?
thought the same shit.
See?
We talked about it earlier, and I said the same. I was like, I could see that.
That's my biggest misconception, bro. Like that, I would say that I got a lot from whether I knew someone or that I know someone and we spoke about it, and they'll tell me to my face like, man, when I first met you, bro, I ain't trust you not one bit, and now like they're one of my closest friends.
Why do you think that is, though?
Man, I don't
Like,
know.
what do you give off that gives that vibe?
I don't know.
Think it's
'Cause
the way
I'm-
you dress?
I think it got to be appearance. It got to be
Yeah,
appearance
it's definitely
100%. Because, like, I don't come off, I don't talk too much. Like, if I don't know you, I don't talk to you too much. If you're freshly new, then I'm very observant. Like, I'm
And I
paying,
think that's what it is.
I'm
I
paying
think it's like-
attention way too much. Maybe I'm just hyper focused on it. But, like, if someone new comes through the door right now and I'm just going to be looking, I'm not going to interact as much as if I'd known you. So, I don't know what I think it has to do with appearance though.
Yeah.
Like I'm young, I grew up in this area, I'm tatted up, I wear a lot of jewelry, you know. So I think that has to do with it. Like even growing up, like my best friend, people used to always tell his father, you know Mario, people used to always tell his father to stop letting Mario hang out with me because like they were like, oh no, he's up to no good, like he's gonna get him into trouble. And then you go 10 years down the line, and not even to brag or not to throw shade at anybody, but I'm the one that got my shit together. Like, I grew up, I matured, I got my family, I got my own place, you know. I'm fucking supporting them. Like, I'm doing what I gotta do as a man. So I obviously I grew up, but I would say that was my biggest misconception. Like, they thought I was up to no good all the time. And don't get me
Were
wrong.
you up to no good?
Don't get me wrong. I was gonna say at times I was probably up to no good.
That's
It
like
doesn't
some-
mean
some
like
teenager shit.
Yeah, it
you
was-
know? It's like,
it was like there was a purpose behind it though. It wasn't like I was just up to no good because I wanted to do no good. It was like I was up to no good because I'm trying to find a way to get to this next step. And if it gotta take X, Y, and Z, then I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, but I'm gonna get to that next step that I gotta get to.
You can do.
But I'm not
You're
gonna
gonna eat by any means.
I'm gonna eat by any means, and I got that shit tattooed on me. So
I
yeah, I'm
know.
gonna eat by any means, bro. So
Right.
growing up like that, and see, there's two different types. You could grow up like that and be very selfish and not care who get hurt around you. But I was the type that I was like that, but I cared who was gonna get hurt. I didn't want anybody else to get hurt but me if I had to get hurt. It wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna throw you under the bus, but I'm gonna make sure I come up on top. It was like, nah, if anybody's gonna fuck up, it's gonna be me. But if I come up, then you come up with me.
Hell yeah.
And it's
That's
like, we're
fire.
gonna rock it out. And I done been in, excuse me, I've been in multiple situations like that where, you know, I got a game plan and I'm like, hey, I think this could work. It's gonna look bad, but it could work. And if you ride with me, all right, cool, then we come up hard. But if it don't, then I'll take the hit and you'll be all right. Don't even worry about it. And I used to always do that all the time where I would tell my friends, like, hey, we'll do this. And if we fucked up, bro, we're fucked up. I'm gonna tell you, like, being young, we were probably broke as fuck. Like, it'd be 4 of us in a group, 3 of us in a group. Nobody got money. What you got? You got like $5, $10. What you got? $5, $10. All right, come on. We're gonna walk to Little Caesars because that's the cheapest thing we get. $5 pizzas and we can all eat.
Shit. Still
But
to this day, I'm on those $5 pizzas.
Same. I love them $5 pizzas. But at the end of the day, it's gonna feel like, you know, we was just at a 5-star restaurant. We full as fuck. We just ate. We're balling on a budget.
Are you proud of yourself?
I'm proud of myself, bro. I could honestly say now I'm proud of myself. I feel like up until maybe 22, I would say I wasn't proud of myself.
What changed? Like what?
My perspective on life.
As in, how do you see it now compared to what you did before?
Before I seen it, I lived day by day, bro. Before it was like day by day, it was like, I don't know, it was weird. But then I had my son and it just gave me a whole different perspective.
Different
Like,
meaning.
I accepted life for what it was. And I feel like a lot has to do with your faith in God. At least for me. Like, I feel like my faith was never that strong. Like, I always searched for him, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people could relate to this, where I felt like I was talking to him, but I felt like I was talking to him, but I didn't really believe him. Like, I felt like I was talking to him, but I didn't really believe him. Like, I felt like I was talking to him, but I didn't really believe him. Like, I felt like I was talking to him, but he wasn't speaking back, or I wasn't hearing him. And there would be nights that I would constantly do that. I would speak, and I start to question, and I'm like, but why? Why this? Why that? Why isn't this working? But why I keep going through this? And I felt like I wasn't getting a response, and I think that's what was killing my faith, because it was like I wasn't listening how I was supposed to listen, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I just sat down with myself. I'm like, man, you know what? I gotta get it together.
Yeah, no, because I feel like that goes into like a next question is, what would the younger you not believe about your life today?
Yeah, that's
Which
a
I think that's
perfect-
a fire question, dude.
That's perfect, honestly. Yeah. Man, growing up, bro, I honestly, if you go back, I'm 26 now. If you go back 10 years,
It's fire, bro. It's 1-on-1 right now.
if you go back 10 years, bro, and ask me, hey, or even tell me, like, hey, you're going to be in this position, you're going to be doing this, you're going to have this many kids, you're going to have a wife, whatever, a house of your own, X amount of cars, I'd be like, yeah, right. I would think you're lying, because at 16, I was I went through a tough time around 16. 16, I was like tough, and I'll get into a little bit more as the podcast goes on. But at 16, I had a tough time where I didn't think I was gonna make it past 18. Like legit, I had zero faith that I would make it past 18. Cause at the time, all I'm seeing is you're a young man from Chicago, growing up in Chicago. It's like you got friends dying before 18. You got friends dying at 15, 16, 17 years old. And then the only thing you see in the media, you're not seeing anybody make past 18. You're not even seeing anyone get close to 21. When I was in high school, I was like, hell no. There would be no way I'd make it to 21, let alone 18. I don't see myself making it 18. And I used to, I would say I fell into like a deep depression because of that. Because I didn't expect to get far. And
Do you feel like that's why you're proud of yourself today?
Yes. Yes. I can honestly say yes. Like now I can sit down and be like, yeah, I can make it a 30. I can make it a 30. But at the time I was like, there's no way. When I hit 18, I didn't see myself getting to 21. It was like, all right, I made it. I cried for my 18th birthday.
It was almost like these little short-term.
Short-term goals. It was like, if I can make it a year, I'll make it a year.
Yeah.
And then the next year I would say, all right, hopefully I'll make it another year. And the same thing over and over and over. So yeah, I cried to my mom for my 18th birthday. I sat on her bed and I cried. And she asked me, she was like, why you crying? I'm like, I didn't think I was gonna make it to 18. I'm like, I'm
Damn,
happy.
that shit
I'm happy.
gives me goosebumps, bro.
Yeah,
I'm glad you made it to 18, dude.
Me too. But then
And 21.
I hit 18.
And 30.
So I hit 18, and then I went through it. It was like my seasons were coming in waves. So like 16, I had hit like, I would say around depression, right? I had hit depression where I was always sad. I was always want to be in the dark. I would always want to sleep. I wanted to zone out, like leave the world and be by myself. And then when I hit 18, we actually went to buy my first car. Right? She came with me. She co-signed for me. All I had to do was, obviously I worked for it because I started working around 16, 17. So I came with my pay stubs already. I came with money. She was just there to be like, yeah, he's able to take care for this car. I'm going to co-sign on that, but it's going to be his car. And I did it. And I felt like the fucking man, bro. I felt like the man. Like at 18, I think it was like 2015. I'm 18, and I just bought a 2013 car. So I was like, it's damn near brand new, bro.
Right.
And then it was a fire-ass car. It was a Buick Regal GS turbo. Bro, the little car was fast, had some 20 stock, all black, tinted out. I threw some sounds in it, and I just felt like I was
That boy
unstoppable.
out there.
Bro, I lasted with that car 3 months.
What happened?
I totaled it.
Shit, dude.
I fucking totaled it. But you see, like, I hit 18, I got the car. And to me, I felt like, all right, it's time to speed it up. I need to start making moves. It's time this is my time now. I'm 18. I gotta get my shit together. I gotta go, 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 go. And I was always on go, go, go. You can take yours out, brother. I was always on go, go, go. So a friend once told me this. He was like, you can't always be on go, 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 because that's when you crash out.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, you have to sit back and, you know, reevaluate everything. Because when you're on go, 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 you don't see those little signs that they're trying to show you.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I didn't want to hear it because I was like, nah, I got this. Don't worry about it.
Hey,
And
they didn't bring straw. Bro.
of course they didn't.
Had to slurp that thing up. Oh, she's a chocolate chunk cookie. Thank you, my boy. We got little Starbies up here in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
That's you.
Hell yeah. But, you know, I think for me, I think I'm proud of myself. And I think, like, back to the question, what would the younger you not believe about your life today? I think it would just, depending on what age I looked at my life. You know what I mean? When I was younger, I used to, like, tell my teacher, I remember, I was like, hey, I'm going to be a millionaire one day.
Okay.
And she would be like, she's like, no. You know what I mean? It was, I actually remember it was like a daycare that I used to go to where I think, man, I had to be like 3rd, 4th grade. You know what I mean? She's like, you know, they're driving and going to field trips. Like, what do you guys want to be? Everyone's going around, you know, what do you want to do? And I'm always like, I'm going to be a millionaire one day. And she was like, you know, that's a lot harder than what you expect. You know what I mean? Like, people are like, I want to, you know, take care of dogs. I want to be a teacher like you. And then there's me, it's like, I'm going to be a millionaire.
Bro, you had high hopes.
I had high hopes.
You
know
want to know
what
what I would say when I was younger?
Huh.
I had some fucked up dreams, but look. I said when I was younger, I wanted to work at Subway, bro.
But dude, bro, first off, what the fuck, dude? Like, what 5-year-old is like, I'm gonna work at Subway when I'm older, dude?
At
Bro.
5 years old, I wanted to be a mailman.
A man? What? Bro, I didn't even know what any of these careers were
Bro,
at
I
5
thought
they
years
were the
old.
coolest
I wanted to work
people.
at Subway because I enjoyed Subway and I knew I could get free food. If it wasn't Subway, then I wanted to work at Target because every time my mom would take me to Target, she'll never let me push the cart. So my go back, my
That
go
boy
back
wanted
to
to work
her.
at Target just so he can push carts when he's older.
Hey, and now I would never.
I was about to say, now he's like, damn, what was I thinking?
Bro, they give me shit about that all the time.
Oh, yeah. But, you know, so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be like a millionaire. And, you know, she was always like, you know, that's like, it's not harder than you think. You know what I mean? And blah, blah, blah. So I was like, whatever. And I always remembered that. And then, yeah, I was probably like, you know, similar situation to you, like what you were saying, but obviously different circumstances. Then it's like, you know, when I got in like my teenage years, that's when I kind of started exploring with different things and, you know, kind of taking a little more risks
Yeah.
in my life. Not career risks or financial risks or something, like just
No, you're risking your life.
I'm right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Risking
Perfect way
your
to say it.
life.
Risking my life, and yeah, there was a pretty hefty period of time in my life where I was just like, could not, like, as much as I tried to sit down and look, I could not see no future,
Yeah.
and
That's
I'm
the
not even-
most frustrating part.
And you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. There's times even like today where it's hard to picture my future for some reason. It's like I know exactly what I want my future to look like, but when I picture it, it's like I can't get
See
no visualizations of it, and sometimes it scares me because it's like, man, are you only getting so far in life because you're only meant to go so far in life?
Yeah.
As in, like, you're not gonna live that long.
This is crazy.
You know what I mean? Like,
Sorry to
dude,
cut you off, but
yeah.
I was alone. A couple days ago, I was alone sitting by myself. And I thought the same exact thing. I was like, I wonder if people know how it feels to grow so fast that you hit a peak.
Dude.
You hit, like, there's no.
Yes. And I feel like at one point, like, I had hit my peak. So, like, I started working. So I was like, I don't know what the hell to do. I worked.
I got it
grinded.
written down in this phone. I want you to see it. I got it written down in this phone.
All right, can I
But
read
it's
it out
dead.
loud?
It's dead. But when I charge it, I want you to
Get
see.
this man a charger, bro.
What's
Instead of me
today's
taking
date?
you out
What's
to eat,
today's
bro, and
date?
paying for your bill,
That's the
I'm going to go buy you a
12. That's the
freaking
12.
charger, dude.
It's the 12. So you're going to see that it's backdated
All right,
before
so
the 12.
we'll come back to that. And
But I said the exact same thing. I'm like, people don't understand how it feels to grow so fast that you hit a peak. That's it. It's like,
it's like you accomplished a goal that might have not even been a goal, but it feels like it took you so high that it's it's hard to see beyond that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it was like,
I call it being stuck in between the clouds.
that's a good way to look at it.
So like you're climbing up a mountain, you get stuck between the clouds, you can't see shit. You don't know if you're going up or should I just go right back down so I can be able to see again.
Exactly. And I feel like that at that point you get stuck in this limbo where it's like you're comfortable and like you become stagnant, but it's like you want more, but it's like you don't know what to reach for more.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things you have to like sit down and really try to figure out like what you want. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm talking like a reachable thing.
Yeah.
Just to get you like out of that
Moving.
place.
Yeah,
You
you
know what I
gotta
mean?
get-
Just
you
to
start
get you,
moving.
just to get you to start moving. So it's like, yeah, I feel like just like at different points in my life, it's just if I were to look back and when I was a kid and you know believe about like what you wouldn't believe about your life right now is, man, just where I'm at in general. Just because I thought at one point, you know, I was just gonna, you know, finish high school and then go to college and find out some job, but it's like I hated school. Hated
Right.
school, bro. Like ever since I was young, I hated school. Barely made it through high school. All these things. And it's like I finished high school, started delivering furniture, you know, on the south side, did all this and started working at all these different pizza places. It's like, bro, I had literally no direction. And I'm just out here trying to figure out everything. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I think like if you're to tell me like, hey, you're gonna be a barber, I would not even believe it, dude. 100%. There's, you know.
I would not believe that I would be a barber. I had interest in wanting to be a barber growing up. Like on Saturday, I showed you my cousin that would let me cut his hair when I was like 13, 14. But it
Yep.
wasn't even like, I wasn't even cutting it for real. Like I would mess with his hair. Oh, you're gonna shave it bald? Okay, cool. Let me put lines in your head. But when I look back, those were signs of me liking the craft. There was something there that I was like, okay, cool. I could enjoy this. I could actually do this. Okay, cool. Let me try it. But if you would have told me 10 years ago, hey, you're gonna be a barber, I'd been like, okay, that's lie number one. What else you got for me? Oh, you're gonna be a father. If I was 16, in 5 years you're gonna be a father. I would have been like, yeah, that's another lie. I don't see it happening. If you
I
would've-
think that's another thing that I look at. Where it's like I look at my future, I'm like, I can't really like picture myself being a dad. It's like I want to so bad, but I can't even visualize it. You know what I mean? So like sometimes I think I'm like, is that even in my future?
Okay. Before I was a father, I couldn't visualize it. Obviously, I wanted to have kids. Or I was even fine with just one kid. But I was fine with having that in my future of having a family, right? But I could never visualize it. I couldn't visualize myself being a father. But I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that I didn't have a father. So it's
I mean,
it's like
yeah,
what
I
they say.
could see that.
Your dreams. In your dreams, everything you've seen before. Your brain is not able to.
Make up a situation that's never physically happened.
Okay, so when you're growing up without a father, can you physically see what it would be like other than from movies?
No,
Because there's no emotion
I
there.
feel like it's like different. Like I completely understand that. You know what I mean? But I think it's like the way that I'm viewing it is just different from that. It's more or less like not even necessarily it's like because you don't have a father figure, but it's just more or less
Will it ever happen?
like will it ever happen? Like just seeing something. Like for example, let me ask you like
Do you think?
realistically, where do you see yourself? You're 27. 26, turning 27 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Or Isaiah, or anybody. I'll even ask myself this: like, realistically, where do you see yourself when you're 40 years old?
I don't see it.
What would you like to see? And like, can you physically picture yourself like when you're 40 years old? Like you like sit down and think about like, what are you gonna look like? Let's just say because everyone's a different age. 10 years from now, you know what I mean? Isaiah, you're gonna be 31. You're gonna be 36. I'm gonna be 43 because I'm 33. You know what I mean? So it's like when I sit down, I'm like, bro, like so I'll talk about myself. You know what I mean? Like, Franco stated his, that's like me being in Franco's shoes right now. You know what I mean? Saying like that's like around his age frame right now. It's like, man, I can't even picture like what my life is gonna be. Like, am I gonna be living in the same spot? Am I gonna be living in Chicago? Am I gonna have a family? Am I gonna be that millionaire that my kid, like that, my childhood, like that inner child in me was like, hey, that's what you're gonna be. And then it's like, what is a million? Like when I was a kid and I said I wanted to be a millionaire, did I mean I wanted to be a millionaire in money or did I want to be a millionaire in happiness? Because when I was a kid, I don't even know what real money was. I just know that, hey, if you're a millionaire, you're rich, but rich in what? What did I want to be rich in? And I asked myself that. It's like, hey, what do you want to be rich in? It's like, I make good money. Like I have different endeavors in my life that set me up into a way where like it doesn't cost me a lot to live my life.
Right.
So I have a lot more playing around money, you know what I mean, than maybe like an average person does, or like, you know what I mean? And I'm over here chasing the dollar, but in reality it's like, bro, like are you chasing something that's like you really already have like right now? Like did I want to be rich in, like what did I want to be rich in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you ask yourself that now?
I ask myself that now.
What's your answer?
See, it's a conflicted answer because it's like, for me, like, it is like my situations, money. It is proven to me that money does not make you happy, and I understand that. And I understand like when people say like money doesn't bring happiness, I get it. Does it? It can bring financial freedom, which then can lead to happiness, you know, and then can lead to this. But the thing is, like, the more you make, the more you pay, dude. Like and your lifestyle just consistently like increases. You're like, oh man, dude, like, you know, I'm making $1,000 and I have this apartment. Like, oh, now I'm making, you know, $10,000 a month, but like your living expenses, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Now you just bought a house.
It's like,
mortgage is like $3,000.
I think so. What I'm asking myself is like, obviously, like I want happiness, but like at what cost? But then it's like I want happiness, but how do I get to that happiness? Like, what is it that is gonna truly make me happy? Because maybe it's because since I haven't found it yet, that I'm assuming things that are going to make me happy. Like for me, like having a family and having kids, that's what's going to make me happy. But how do I know? Because I don't have that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it puts you in a tough situation when you're trying to figure out life.
Exactly. So I think right now in my point of life is, you know, going back to God is like, dude, bro, I wake up every morning and I ask God, be like, you know, give me the courage to take on any opportunity that lands in my lap today. Because I'm at the point in my life where it's like, I don't know. There's things that I want, I know in life, but there's a lot of things where it's like, I don't know what direction I'm going. And so it's like, I think I'm just trying to figure out what that is. I'm not saying I'm depressed. You know what I mean?
No.
And I'm not saying I'm not happy because I love my life. But I'm just talking about,
You're just trying to figure it all out.
like, I think just trying to figure it out, which goes into like, you know, future thinking, a present thinker, or are you a past thinker? You know?
I'm a little bit of all.
Yeah.
I mostly try to stay present, but I catch myself having those days where I'm thinking about the past. And then I catch myself again thinking about the future. And I'm like, it's okay to focus on the future, but we go back when you don't see the future. And
That's why they say like it gives you so much anxiety.
Yeah, you get yourself frustrated. Now you feel like you're going against the clock.
Yes.
And then I find myself like, when I have those moments where I can't see the future, then I automatically think, all right, so death is around the corner. And I start thinking about death a lot more. And I start looking at my son.
What is your biggest fear about death?
Bro.
My biggest fear was leaving my son. That was my biggest fear, right? It was leaving my son. But if I had to choose not being in my son's life versus obviously dying and not being in his life, I'd rather die.
Then be alive and not
Than
be
be
in his
alive
life.
and not be in his life, yes. I'd rather die. Because, like, I think that's why I set up so... I feel like that's why I'm so hard on my son. Like, I'm preparing you for... I'm always preparing him for, like, the what-ifs I'm not here. I'm trying to make you that stand-up man. So if I'm not here, you're still that. I'm trying to show you what life is going to do to you. So when I'm not here no more and you have that question, you can always go back and be like, all right, what would my dad have done?
Damn, that's crazy, dude. That should give me goosebumps.
Legit, bro. That's how, like, maybe the last 3 years of my life, I've been living like that, where I can't see a future. I feel like I hit plateau. So then I start thinking overly on death. And that's why I'm even more paranoid. People be like, "Oh, but why you drive with like 2, 3 guns?" I'm trying to make sure I make it back home. Like, I'm overly paranoid. Oh, why don't you like leaving the area you grew up? Nigga, I'm trying to make it back home. Like, at least that I know I could run 3, 4 blocks and make it back home. I could drive 2 minutes down the block.
What
and
is
make
it
it back
home that's making you feel physically safe?
My son and my girl. That's home. Their presence to me is home. I could move to another neighborhood and feel at home with them. As long as I got them, I'm good. Well, obviously, if I include like my mother and my sister, because they also make me feel at home. But majority has to do with my girl and my son. That's home for me. Like,
See, I think when I think about it, like that's the shit that I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, have you ever felt like you were like Isaiah, like you were ever like with someone, or like do you have like a special person, whether it's family or friend, where you feel like, hey, I can go anywhere in this world and I'm not gonna have FOMO. I'm not gonna have like that
you
feeling.
go with them and nothing else matters. Just you're just present.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt that before.
Damn, that's fire, dude.
You never felt that before?
I think
yeah, when he's right here next to me, he'd be like,
I think like
had-
in my mind, like I tell myself, but I don't think I've ever felt that way.
Do you feel like you ever experienced like true happiness, like even for like just a day or two, where you were just like, damn, I'm happy?
I have, but that's the thing is, it's only been for a day or two.
that's the scary part, bro.
I've never had
Bro,
like that.
no stress, no anxiety, you're just fucking chilling.
No,
You
dude.
never like
When I tell you my mind's on 10, bro.
Yeah,
Like when I say
I
like
don't think I've.
I don't like.
even when you were younger though, like obviously not too young, but you know old enough to.
I
I'm
think
gonna have to agree with him. There's never been a time where, like, obviously, yeah, a day where I could just zone out and I'm enjoying the day, but the next day it's over with.
I'm gonna
Nah,
be
but I'm
honest,
just
bro. I
talking
think
about
the only
just one
time that's
day.
ever happened to me is when I was younger, and it's fucked up to say, is when I used to do drugs.
Yeah,
Because-
but that's because you're numbed out, though.
Yeah.
you don't
But
feel
that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, like the past it's like the past is non-existent to me, and the present is almost non-existent to me. It's like I get like these little blacked out moments of the present, as in it's like all right, right here, like I'm physically talking to you guys, and I get it, but my mind is thinking in the future. Like, dude, when I say my mind's on 100, bro, from the moment that I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, it's on 100, and it's always thinking about the future. It's always thinking about my next move, and I'm thinking about like shit that it don't even matter, dude.
You possibly have ADHD.
Like I put shit in my phone, in my calendar. Like, hey, I gotta like, for example, like I had to call this DNA testing thing for like some dogs today, right? And I was like, hey, let me put it in my calendar for today so I remember to call them. Bro, I woke up, the first thing I knew that I had to call them. It's like, so I don't even need to set myself reminders for nothing, because it's like I'd be so in the future about things.
Yeah.
And
You're
I
already
think
ready.
that's really preventing me from finding like my quote unquote richness in
the present.
the present. You
It
know what I mean?
does.
It was
You're
like
robbing
what
yourself
they
from
say
your
is
own-
like, what is that saying? Where it's like, man, how did that one quote go?
I don't know.
Forget.
I don't know the quote.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know the quote. I don't even know where you're going with it.
Yeah, I don't know.
When you think about it, say it. But I would like to know it. But yeah, you're robbing yourself from. And I wouldn't say just you. I've.
Oh yeah, we're say yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery,
Oh yeah.
today is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
Yeah, but you're robbing yourself of your gift
I am.
because you're thinking about the future the whole time.
What's Christmas, dude, without a gift? It's crazy.
It's right.
So, I mean, you're telling me I can't even have Christmas, bro.
What?
I'm confused.
Because you told me I'm missing out on my gift, dude. There is no Santa.
There is no Santa, bro.
I'm just joking. Isaiah, what's your biggest fear about death? Mine's FOMO.
Not knowing.
I'm gonna be honest. Mine's FOMO.
Yours is FOMO, missing out.
Fuck
dude.
that, bro.
FOMO is preventing me from doing a lot of things in my life that I
No
want to do.
way.
FOMO is preventing me to leave Chicago and go move somewhere warm all year round because I'm scared I'm gonna miss out on something here.
Well, you're gonna miss out on me.
I'll miss out on you guys. And it's like
I'm gonna have fun here.
FOMO is like
Cause I ain't moving out.
I think that's what it is, bro. Low key.
What's yours, Isaiah? What's your
Just
biggest fear?
not knowing what's next.
With death?
Yeah.
I already know what's next with death.
Oh, you saying like afterlife?
Yeah, like.
I could tell you. You going to heaven or hell? Which one you doing?
But see, everybody has like that. Like, yeah, I believe in God, but it's like,
It's afterlife, bro.
like, bro, like,
Afterlife. Where do you think deja vu comes from?
bro.
You never had deja vu? When you're like,
Yeah,
damn,
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like I've been there. Dude, how do you have how do you feel like you've done something that you've never done before?
Your dreams.
I'm a big believer in afterlife, bro. That's what I think it is.
So,
what
all
do
right,
you think?
Because,
what's
bro,
your
like-
perspective on afterlife?
Because
What do you think?
think
is
about it,
afterlife?
dude. Like, how are you just, you close your eyes, that's it. Boom, done. Like, your mind, nothing. No
That's
more.
what I'm scared of. That's what I'm
Exactly. I believe that you got to believe in what it is that you want to happen. Where do you want to go after this? Do you want to go up? Do you want to go down?
I'm going up.
I'm going up.
scared of.
But this thing is like, are you taking the initial steps to be able to go up? You know what I mean? Like
That's the hard-
in here.
That's the hard part.
No, not on the exterior, but like in the interior. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me jump in.
Oh,
I know
that's
it.
scary.
Hey, Franco, do me a favor. Come out here. Come out here, Franco.
I wanted Franco to actually chime in on this.
Franco, come
Just
out here
because
for me,
I'm
please.
curious to see
Where
like
I'm finna
what,
go? I only got 3 cameras on right now.
Well, come
I'm-
turn on another one, dog.
I'm curious to see.
I need you included in this. It's getting nice. It's getting nice out here.
I'm curious to see like what he has to say about this because he's
This is-
Franco's.
this is-
Franco's is like this is his category. He's
About
he's
to
got a
get-
lot of categories, but he knows how
about
to
to get
really
deep right now.
he knows how to
He's,
really get deep into something like this.
Franco's very knowledgeable when it comes to a lot of different categories. Like, he knows a lot. And, Franco, how long I been knowing you?
Probably a few years since I've been coming to the shop. I know for sure.
But within the last, I want to say 3 months, us actually interacting.
Getting to know each other on a
yeah,
deeper level.
getting to know each other. That's when I realized, like, hey, this man's smart.
He is, dude. But you know what? I like it because he'll sit back and he'll observe, just like how you said. You know what I mean? Like how you are.
Yeah.
He'll sit back, he'll observe, he'll assess the situation, and it's like he knows when he can dive in, but when he dives in, it's like it's almost like he pre-plans exactly what he's gonna say.
It feels like that.
You know what I mean? Because like he'll dive in and he'll say the right things at the right time and just know exactly. And it's like, man, it's inspiring. Like a lot of things that Franco says is inspiring. A lot of knowledge, a lot of depth.
I don't think Franco realized it, or maybe he does, but Franco's low key motivating.
Extremely motivating, bro.
Like, at least for me, I could speak on myself, but when I come in here, when we're about to do a episode, right, and I come in here and I sit down and I start chopping it up with him, and he starts dropping all this knowledge on me, it just gets the brain working when I'm like, all right, when I leave here, I gotta start getting the ball rolling because he's
that motivation to get that
giving me
hustle
all
back.
this knowledge. If I just keep it with inside me, then it's useless. But if I do something with it, then that's what gives it the power.
Like, do you want? Are you gonna use it as garbage? Or you gonna use it as a tool?
You know what's crazy? When I first, so how y'all feel? What y'all saying? When I first started coming into the shop, even now, that's how I feel about y'all.
Hell yeah, I appreciate that, bro.
And it's cool, like y'all feel the
But
same
shit,
thing.
that
But
shit-
I feel the same thing towards
But
it.
that it's a reverse thing for you because you coming in the shop gives us motivation because like damn dude like it's showing us that motivation where it's like we might have been stuck and doing the same thing over and over but it's showing us like hey bro like he got drive, you know what I mean, so like I need to find that drive too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also brings back those memories where we think back, and we think back to when we were in your stage,
Yeah.
and we had that drive, we had that motivation, we wanted to come to work,
Yeah.
we wanted to cut hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it brings back that memory where it's like I remember being in stage and feeling how you felt, and it kind of gives you that little more extra strength of that day, and you're like, hell yeah, you know what? Today I'm not doing 15 haircuts, I'm doing 20.
Yeah.
Cause I'm gonna show out for myself.
Y'all eating a bunch of bullshit.
Hey,
Coffee,
that's going back to paying who wants to pay for the bill. Jordan won't let any of us buy Starbucks, or he had to buy Starbucks for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, fun fact. This is the first time I've sat on one of my podcasts.
This is
for real, that's
fire,
fire.
dude.
We've had over 100 podcasts at this podcast, and this is the first time I've sat in on a podcast.
I
Run
feel
it,
like
dude.
and
you're
you know what?
perfect
And
for
most
it.
people who be coming on the show, they always like, "Hey, Franco, jump in. I want to hear your," because they think highly of me. I respect that. I'm grateful of that. I'm very humbled by that. Like you guys are saying about the experiences. It's just experience, bro. It's just I'm in my mid 40s and I went through a lot when I was young. A lot. Okay. And I was isolated from my family. I was locked up for a long time. When you just in the room, over a year, I did in solitary confinement. So it was 23 hours in a room, 1 hour out. And that hour out, I had to have my shower, my 15 minutes rec time, and any phone call and any meal in that hour.
Damn.
So when you had that type of time and you're young, you just keep thinking. By the time I got out, I was 23 years old. Everybody was still doing the exact same thing. And I thought to myself, this is the losing team. This is a losing situation. I don't want to stay in the situation. I'm not going to jump back on the street. But when I was locked up, I was reading a lot about God and stuff. And like you said, the reincarnation. So I like to come from a perspective of... I like to come from the perspective that I don't like to guess. Although there's a level that we have to all assume that we're guessing because it's afterlife that we're talking about. So
Right.
none of us has actually been there. Hold on. But I don't look at what I know as a guess at all. I look at what I know as an absolute truth. Okay? And so reincarnation, the idea of it, yes, it is true. Even in the Bible, because the Bible speaks of a resurrection, a day that everyone will be judged, and then there will be another life coming after that. That right there on its own, even if you consider heaven and hell, that's a level of reincarnation. That's a level of coming back into another existence. But what we know scientifically and biochemically is that energy doesn't die. No energy dies. And a quick little test to prove it is you can take a certain herb, a berry, dry it out, something like juniper berry, all the way to an ash, till it's an ash. And it still maintains its nutritional value. People use the ash in different things, and they consume it. Because you can't even burn away the energy of a plant. It has to go somewhere. That's why, like, when cows poop and stuff, where'd that food? It's compost now. That poop that comes out of the cow goes back into the ground, refertilizes the ground. You know, and it adds a different level of nutrition to the ground, and that energy keeps on reinventing itself in certain ways. So we are the king of the creation, okay? There's nothing in this world that we cannot control. No other species is like that. So an elephant could control a jungle, but he can't control a human being. He can't turn on a TV. He can't create things. He can't create technology. Anywhere in the world, you go to anywhere in the world, you will find a human being controlling an animal. And there's no exception to animal. There's a man in the ocean right now controlling a whale. There's a man right now controlling an elephant. There's a man right now controlling a lion. There's a man right now somewhere that were trained, maybe in a circus, no matter what setting it is, man has dominion over this whole entire earth. We govern the earth, and it's our job to do what we want with the earth. But that does not go without accountability. So the reincarnation part is this. This is your life. This is your being. And I'm only speaking according to the Bible, and I believe it to be the absolute truth based on my research and confirmation of these facts. So in the beginning, we were supposed to be created to live forever. We messed up, and we didn't do that. There's a purpose for that, because anything that lives forever, you have to make sure that it's worth living forever, because if you have too much power and you're a negative human being, you can hurt things forever. You have too much power, and you don't die. That means you can inflict pain forever because you're never going to die. You're an eternal being. So if you were selfish, greedy, bitter, what type of ruler would you be in the universe when you're governing people that actually have to die? You would be something like a Satan, right? A being that is there to trip you up, a being that is there to cause you problems, a being that is there to make easy decisions difficult. So in this life, we are giving the opportunity to earn our reincarnation. Now, what he said is why I wanted to jump in. He said, because it's about the development of the spirit, not of your resources. I can have 10 buildings, 10 businesses, 10 everything. It does not guarantee me a positive transition into the next life. Okay, now with that said, according to the Bible, we live, this is a trial period. Okay, Ecclesiastes 12:13 said the whole duty of man is fear God and keep his commandments. What is? Don't steal, don't lie, don't cheat, don't commit adultery, don't do these. So that means never break a vow, right? And the first thing is you have to keep a vow with God. Okay, I'm giving you life, and I'm going to make sure you're alive every day. And every day that you have oxygen in your lungs, I want you to dedicate that day to your purpose because I gave you your gifts. So dedicate. So by turning your focus every day into your gifts, you are turning your purpose to God because he gave you the gifts. Now, all of a sudden, someone comes up to you and says, hey, I want to give you $10 million. But you just have to come out with me one night, and there's this lady over here, and I know you're married, but just take one for the team. You have to cheat on her, and this lady is a good investor, and she'll give us $10 million. Just make something up. Now is when the test is, because now you already know God said, do not commit adultery. You made a vow between you, your wife, and him that you are always going to be loyal to her. But now life has given you a chance to get ahead in life, but you have to cross the vow that you made to God and to your wife.
It's not worth it.
Why not?
It's not worth it.
Why not, though? Because
we talking God now. We're like,
so how does God pay us back? The reincarnation, right? So now we're
eternal
not thinking
life.
about losing $10 million. We're thinking about losing an opportunity to live forever. Well, what can you do with forever? How much is $10 million worth when you can live forever? What is the point of $10 million if you live forever?
There's no value on that.
There's no value of it. But it's your job to understand that what's in front of you is not really in front of you. It's really there to take away something that's further in front of you. You see what I'm saying? So now you keep these guidelines and these. Now what happens? Oh man, I want to lie, but I don't. So now you develop patience because you fought against lying. It seems like you lost something, but then accepting that loss builds something else. These struggles and these hard decisions of right or wrong, if we make the right choice, they develop the character that we need to transition into a positive outcome. If you lie, steal, and cheat your way through this life, what transition do you think you're going to get? You think life, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, is going to bless you with a positive transition where you can live forever and have unlimited power? If you was greasy the whole time you were here, do you think the gods are going to allow a being that doesn't have self-control to have unlimited power? Of course not. What are you doing here right now? What is your purpose? To earn the next life. The next life don't end. That's the whole point of Jesus coming back to return, to give everybody who earned their spot a different body. They call it a crown of life. It's a different body, though. That's what the resurrection is.
So I got a question on that.
Yes, sir.
This could just be something in my mind, but do you feel like there's different levels? Like, for example, when you say, like, hey, here's your trial period, you know what I mean, for an eternal, for another forever thing. So, like, does that mean, like, the next step, do you feel like is going to be forever? Or the way that I've always kind of thought about it in my life is I almost feel like, so I've always believed in, like, the whole reincarnation thing, but I always thought that maybe God puts you through, how you would say, 3 tests. So it's like you're going to come back as the poor, and he's going to test you out through the poor. And then you're going to, pass that test, and you're going to come back as a middle class. And then you're going to go through that test. Then you're going to come back as a final step as in the rich. And then the rich is the final boss because now you got all this money, now all this power. So now I'm really going to test you internally. And then after the rich, but then what comes after the rich?
Yes, that is the game, but you don't have to die and relive. So you only get one actual try at this.
Like in your past life, were you like,
that's the thing. According to the Bible, you have a past life, but it's not what you think it was. I'll give you an example. When you were born, you came out of your mother on that day. You have a birthday. What's your birthday?
May 18th.
Okay. Did you exist before May 18th? Listen to what I'm saying. Did your being exist? Yes, you did.
You were
of
in
course
your mom's
you did. You were in your
stomach
mom's
for
stomach.
9
months.
Okay, now before. So do you remember that?
No.
But it happened.
Yes.
And you were developing consciousness.
Correct.
Okay, so you would think you were starting off as a baby, but before you were in your mother's stomach, where were you?
Your daddy's nutsack.
Hold on now. So you existed. How did you get from your daddy's nutsack to your mom's stomach?
Won the race.
Oh, what race? Explain the race. No, think deeply though. Don't stop.
You was
What
swimming.
race?
It was an adventure.
Where? How'd you know where to go?
You had you had to
So
have
you
some
were
type
in
of
one
consciousness.
body? Right. You had to have some type of consciousness. So you were in one body, a human being. You figured out somehow consciously how to travel out of this human being into another human being, and then out of
And form the
trillions
egg.
of different eggs, you won the race. How did you know where to go? Just because you don't remember it doesn't mean.
crazy,
Just
dude.
because you don't remember it though doesn't mean that you didn't exist already. And the Bible
woke.
says that God knew Abraham while he was still in his father's loins.
Oh.
God was already communicating with us before we were developed in the physical form. We've been born.
So it's like
bro.
makes me wonder like how many levels are to this?
So all the levels are that's one level, but the rest of the levels are in this life. You can be poor. You are going to be poor in this life. You just have to understand what poor means.
Which
You
goes back
are going to be middle class in this life. It just depends on what to understand what it means and what to do at that level. When you get there, if you can't pass that test, you will stay there or you will go backwards. Everyone's gonna, you understand?
That's crazy.
So you're poor, and he's gonna give you an opportunity. You're poor, you're in the street. Someone gives you $100 out of their kindness of the heart.
could be
You
your
take
opportunity.
$100, then someone else comes and say, "Oh man, I'm so hungry," and you give them 50, and he saw that. And he's like, "Okay, so I know money is not going to shift you right now. You're a giver, so I'm gonna give you a little more something." Then all of a sudden, he gets a job washing windows. Next thing you know, he got enough to get an apartment, get a public aid card, and now he's in an apartment. And then God bless him with something. He's like, "Okay, now you're back in the situation. Now, okay, do I lie? Do I steal? What do I do?" Keep giving. That's why it was important, the examples in the Bible of the rich man who gave what he had and the poor lady who gave all she had. And he said, well, the poor lady's going to be in the kingdom forever, but he still has judgment. Because when you have $1 million and you give $10, that's nothing. But if you have $10 and you give $10, then you gave everything you had. That means everything that means you're now relying on God or a bigger being, something outside of yourself, to pay you back for the faith that you had.
So are you wrong not giving everything you have then?
Yes, you are wrong for not being a giver. It's our job to take care of the poor and needy. That's our job, because there are poor and needy here, and there are strong people in this earth that are trying to destroy poor and needy, that will never give people nothing. If you're working on God's behalf, then everyone you see is your brother and sister. Everyone you see is a version of God, because if you created your son, he's a version of you. He's what you are. God said he made us in his image. God has 2 hands, 2 arms, 2 legs. He made us in his image. You understand? But he made us to become like him, like his child. That's why we're children of God. He's God. He created us to create gods. That's his. He never wanted death. That's why death didn't exist until Adam sinned. Because once the conscience is corrupted, it's hard. Once you do something wrong, it's always in the conscience for the back of your mind. Cheat on your girl if you want to, and you know that she's loyal. That shit is gonna haunt you for a long time. Your guilt will add up. You'll start buying her shit she ain't even deserving shit, because your guilt is fucked up. Because your conscience is already corrupted. You'll remember that shit for 30 years if she's a loyal woman. If she cheats on you all the time, you'll justify it. You'll be like, "Oh, fuck it, she cheated, I cheated." But if she's a loyal woman, you'll be, sooner or later, you're gonna be like, "I can't believe I did that to her. I can't believe," vice versa, etc. So what we put in our mind, the conscious, the decisions that we make, is what's going to be judged. Our brain is being recorded, so to speak. It's like a hard drive. There's nothing you can hide. There's a version of you that he don't know, as close as you all are.
Oh, of course.
And you'll never let him know. And you'll never let him know, and he'll never let, because
What's the tattoo?
because it's a foul version of ourselves. We all battle that fleshly desire to want to get ahead, etc.
So how do you know like that fine line of giving everything, but to the point where it's like for example, I'll put myself in a position. Let's say I have X amount of money, and it's like, am I supposed to give all that money away? Like what is it where it's like when I ask you like, hey, if I have $10, give my $10, or hey, like it could
You gotta have discernment.
Okay, so there's like some sort of fine line.
Yeah,
where it's
you're
like,
not-
don't put yourself.
No,
in
you're
the
not a
grave.
blind dummy.
Okay.
You don't have to be a blind dummy. You
Okay,
understand?
so I guess that was more of my
so me, I
question.
see people that got 2 hands, 2 legs, they our age, and they out there, they're begging. There's the difference between a beggar and poor and needy. Okay? He says, take care of the poor and needy. Everyone
Maybe the
that's
people who might not ask for money, but you know.
Exactly. Everyone who's poor is not needy. And everyone who's needy is not poor.
And it's not necessarily meaning going out and trying to find somebody. But
No.
if you cross paths
You have
and you feel like you're conscious.
They're going to come to you. You never have to go out and find anyone. He's going to bring everyone straight to you. You just have to have discernment.
And it might not always be about money.
No, everyone you meet in your life, God is bringing them to you. The question is why? And everything that you have to do for them is not necessarily supposed to be on that day. Sometimes you have to set the stage. Sometimes you have to befriend people because it depends on what God wants you to work on. So if you're a closed off, isolated person, you never give anybody a chance and he sends people to you, maybe the first step is allowing vulnerability to kick in. Allow someone to step in. Now you've overcome a certain aspect of your life. You understand what I'm saying? But eventually, you're going to have to give them what you have for them. See, that's why God gave us gifts. And if you have a gift, what do you do with gifts?
You give them.
Exactly. And so if we have a gift, and it's our job to give them, then there's someone out there, they're waiting on our, exactly, they're waiting on our gift. They just don't know it's from us.
So you feel like God puts each person in your life specifically for a reason?
I know this for a fact.
So, like, am
He
I
said
in this podcast with all three of you guys for
Absolutely.
a reason?
There's a development in this podcast. There's the development between you guys personally. Something has to come out of this that's going to change our lives or someone's life. There's a purpose to all of this, even if it's no one here. Someone can be listening to this and say, hey, I didn't know that. I had that question burning in my mind. I didn't know how to start a barber business. I didn't realize I had to go from a 2 to a 2.5 to a 3 when I'm doing the fade, but because I was listening to that. And then that kid applies that, and all of a sudden, he starts making money. His fades get better, and now he can handle his family. You don't know what it is that can inspire someone. It could be something very small. But when you have to give the credit to God because it's not your development. It's your gift. If you go to trade school and you're a plumber, that's not your gift. That's your trade. You've learned that. You understand? But the things that come, passion, kindness, all the things that draw people to you, those come from God. If you're a mean, stubborn person, always mean mugging people, no one's going to come to you. You're going to get less opportunities in life to show God what you're made of because you've made yourself unapproachable. But if you're a kind person, you're always helping people, then people are always going to come to you. But you have to accept the fact that you're going to be used. That's part of the process. That's part of the program. See, and this is where people fall off because you start being kind because you want to be a genuinely kind person, and then someone takes advantage. You're like, fuck that shit. They took advantage. I'm not going to be kind to nobody no more. Well, that was the test. It's okay. People are going to take advantage of you. That's part of the MO. They took advantage of Jesus. He was the example. That's why he did that whole example, to show you that you're not getting the short end of the stick by following his directions. You just have to deal with it. If someone's playing you, either step away from them or accept that they're playing you and try to win them over so they can change their perspective about their behavior and learn how to do better. You see what I'm saying? But if you can't, if you're going to go tick for tack for everyone does that. Even wicked men go tick for tack. You don't earn nothing by being wicked to a wicked person to you. But if someone fouls you and lies to you and you forgive them, now you're bringing up riches in heaven. And that's the last part. Do you want to earn riches here or do you want to earn riches in heaven? Every time you do the right thing here, you're stacking money to the kingdom, to your next life. Every time you do some greasy shit, you're taking away that and you're putting yourself in a position to not transition in a positive direction after this life. But reincarnation is 100% for real. You will be coming back. When you go in the dirt, you just go to sleep. But there's going to come a day where you have to answer for everything that you've done. Because that's your job. Your job on this earth was to run the earth, and now you have to answer. Because he don't want nothing to die. He don't want you to die. Why would he create you just to die? No, he wants you to live forever, and he wants you to govern beautifully. Let's say you transition, you're in the kingdom. Now you're going to get your own city. Bible says it. You're going to get your own city. You're going to get everybody in the first resurrection who did what they were supposed to do consciously. They're going to reign with Christ, and he's going to teach them firsthand how to run the world. And I'm pretty sure after that, it's going to be running the universe. Everyone creates their own world, and everyone has children of their own. It's the same thing.
That'd be crazy.
That's where all these galaxies come from.
That is what it is. It's each individual who makes this test is going to have his own earth eventually, I'm pretty sure, and they're going to have their own. They can create their own children and then create their own gods, and everyone keeps, but it has to to be good. There's a good versus bad. You can't. That's why Satan had to get taken away. That's why, because he gave him power without proving it, and now he messed up, and now he had to create a whole thing called the lake of fire for a bunch of angels. And we're so dumb, we found ourselves, because this fire that he's making, that's called the lake of fire, that's not created for us. That was created for angels. That's why the fire, like the sun. Have you ever seen the sun not shine, like the sun not burn? Of course not. He's showing you that he has the technology to make fire last forever just by showing you the sun every day. God has shown you that he has the technology to make fire burn forever. So if you think, oh, the lake of fire is not real, but the sun is, doesn't that burn forever? Have you ever seen the sun go out?
No.
So if you end up in that motherfucker, you're going to be salty. And then you can't die?
No, it's eternal burning.
So that's why the fear of God is the beginning of knowledge. He's like, hey, man, I made you. I don't care what you think about yourself. I don't care if you think you made yourself. You didn't. And at the end of the day, you're going to answer for your behavior on this earth. So do good. Take care of people. Take it on the chin sometimes. The whole thing about, oh, Jesus, turn the other cheek. Yeah, if somebody play you, don't play them back. If you got to walk away, walk away. Don't play them back. Because God can pay them back. Once you pay them back, God steps away and says, okay, whatever you, and then usually when you pay them back, it creates more drama. When you step away, God steps in and says, oh, no. If you're going to humble yourself, then I'm going to, and I made him, so I'm going to hurt him more than you can hurt him. I know how to hurt him. You know what I'm saying? It could be some shit that you never find out about, but that motherfucker hurting. Because you step back and let him be. And then it says when you treat somebody kindly and they treating you wrong, it's like burning hot coals on their head. Because that kindness eventually they're gonna feel bad. There's gonna be guilt. They're gonna feel, their conscience is gonna be affected. It's like, damn, I can't believe I played this motherfucker and he's such a nice person. All the time, you didn't play me, I let you play me, bro. Because I'm trying to get you on my level. You know what I mean? So you gotta take some on the chin sometimes. You gotta be willing to do that. If you want to reincarnate into a better life, you got to learn how not to go tick for tack, not to go evil for evil in this life. Let motherfuckers who want to do wrong. I'm finna do right over here. That's it, you know.
And I feel like that's why before, like when we were talking about, like, can you see, you know, what do you look like in 10 years? I think it's because we can't physically picture that because it all depends on what we're doing today, what our next 10 years is going to look like. That's why we can't picture on what it is.
And it's always changing.
But
it's always changing.
I disagree. You can't. I believe you can paint your next 10 years. I believe if you write out a plan for each year.
Well, that's what comes out to manifesting, no?
Yeah, that's exactly what manifestation is. So it starts with an idea that's inside of your mind that has no physical residue. It has no physical evidence. It's only an idea. But once you take this idea, now what you have to do is you have to absorb your senses or anyone else's senses to manifest. This is the secret of manifestation, okay? So it's inside. So while it's inside, it's still spiritual because it's only a thought, and thoughts are spirit, okay? So while it's inside, it's still spiritual. So the first thing you have to do is you have to create a vibration. Although it does have a vibration inside because our thoughts have a vibration, you have to create a bigger vibration. So you speak it out. So the first thing is like, I'm going to make $100,000 in 1 year. Now I have put this vibration out there. You heard it with your ears. You heard it with your ears. You heard it with your ears. I heard it with my ears, and I said it with my mouth out loud. It's no longer a thought. Now there is a vibration to it. It is in the real world now. It's no longer just in my head, right? So now I've heard it in my own voice because I said it out loud with my own mouth. So I'm using my senses. I have 5 senses. I'm using my mouth to record this thought. I'm using my ears to record the thought. So now my neurological system, my nervous system that records all the information and communicates with me has 2 records of this thought. And I've made it more impactful. So now it's not just a thought. There's a vibration in my ears that heard this thought. And my mouth said it. And now I'm going to take it and I'm going to write it down. Now I'm going to put my hands on it and I'm going to touch it, right? Now I spoke it, I heard it, I wrote it. Now I'm absorbing and I'm touching it with my hands. There's nothing more intimate than touching something with your hands. It's more than an idea. That's why people are I'm good with hands-on training. Yeah, because hands-on, it allows you to see what you're doing and make adjustments. When it's in the mind, you don't even have it in front of you. You still have to go in the darkness of your mind to find the details of your thought. But write that down. And now you're manifesting. Now it's on a piece of paper. Now it's on a physical thing. It's not in the mind no more. It's out. You've brought it out of your body and you put it in the real world. Now, what are you going to do with it? It's in front of you. Now, you follow your directions. You follow your ideas. Okay, I got to do this. I got to do this. Check it off. 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 You are going to manifest that idea, good or bad. Oh, man, look at that bitch over there. I'm going to holler at her sooner or later. She keeps coming to the barbershop, man. I know my girl over there. You keep thinking about that, though. Keep speaking about that. Keep talking about that. Keep liking them pics. Keep sending them DMs. Keep writing it, talking about it, hearing it. And that's going to manifest itself too. Because then he's like, oh, okay. So now you're in a position where you can betray God because your thoughts are going ahead. So Satan, there's a being out there that's like, oh, okay. Oh, you might betray God. Now I'm going to present you the opportunity. It's your lust in your mind is going to bring whatever you're thinking towards you. The question is, what are you going to do when it gets there? If you think positive, oh, now I'm going to be a faithful motherfucker. I ain't going to mess around. I'm going to be a good family man. I'm going to take care of my family. I'm going to have trust. I'm going to be dependable. They ain't going to have to worry about what I do, this and that. You'll manifest that. But if you're always talking greasy in the back end, you're going to manifest that because you can't hide from yourself. The conversation you have with your wife and the conversation you have with your dirty-ass friend, if they're not the same conversation, one of them is going to manifest itself. And usually the bad manifests itself better, faster than the good.
Always.
So you have to protect your mouth. You have to protect your thoughts. You have to learn how to take a thought out of your mind just as fast as it came in because it's threatening what you're working on. I'll give you an example. I'm going to go on a diet. I got to lose 10 pounds by my wedding date. And then that night, it's 8 o'clock at night. You're about to go to bed. Oh, man, I want some cookies. Hey, man, you just gave yourself a goal. Now your thoughts are attacking your own goal. You have to fight yourself at that moment and stand up for what you said you wanted.
Why is it like that, though?
Because we're conditioned. We're already conditioned. From the day that we're born and we don't have consciousness, the world is trying to put their consciousness into our mind. That's why the marketing companies, the food companies, and the media companies, they all work together. You understand? By the time you're 2 years old, you have already eaten gluten. You have already eaten starch. You are already eating your body is already accustomed to getting things that are bad for you. You don't even have a memory of not eating rice in your entire life. That's why it's harder to stop eating rice than it is to stop taking cocaine. Because when you stop taking cocaine, you make a decision, I'm not going to do cocaine no more. At least you remember when you started it, you were responsible for it. It fucked up your life, and now you're making a conscious decision. Oh, I got to stop eating rice. I don't have a memory of me not eating rice. I've been eating rice since I had 2 teeth in the front. My mom was shoving it in my mouth. It's in my DNA. My body's addicted to starch. That's what I've been eating since I was young. It's harder to cut the starch than it is to cut the drugs because we're conditioned. If I A, B, C, D, everybody here can finish that right now. If you were 3 years old, you can finish it. Why? You've already been programmed with the alphabets at 3 years old. You understand what I'm saying? If anyone tries to sing that song differently, you're going to be like, that sounds weird. Why? The ABCs are in the same line, but because you learned it different, it's not right to you, and you're not going to, it seems wrong to you. Well, this is what they do. They program us with these false narratives in life. McDonald's food is good. This is good. This is good. This is good. And then we grow up, let me get McDonald's. Let me get McDonald's. By the time we buying the McDonald's for ourselves now. You know what I mean? Or seeing videos of rap videos of every single rap video, somebody dying, somebody selling drugs, somebody girlfriend is getting had sex with, somebody's cheating and whatnot. You watch that shit every day. Eventually, that's going to be we imitate. Life imitates art. Everything that we put in front of our face, that's why they program us. That's what we're called TV programs, radio programs. Because they put it in front of our face and they play it over and over and over again until we adopt their mind and adopt the narrative. To the point where we're singing songs and repeating the lyrics to songs and don't realize that, yeah, man, and I got my side bitch over here. You know you a faithful guy, but you say, I got my side bitch, because the song's saying it, and now you're and they're subconsciously putting that in your mind little by little, little by little, little by little, until you think it's normal, and it's not normal. That's why I don't watch TV. I don't be listening to regular music. I don't want none of that fuck they got in my mind. And I use the Bible to decipher which is right and which is wrong. Somebody come to me, oh, you can do this. Oh, no, the Bible says I can't. That's cut and dry. I don't have to think about my decisions anymore. Because when you don't have a moral compass, it's hard to determine right from wrong. You got to think a lot. But when you have a moral compass, it's very simple. Hey, man, you want to hit this lick? No. The fuck I'm going to hit a lick for? I'm going to work, bro. I'm not finna hit no lick. I know better. I know stealing don't carry probation in the long run. I can get away with that motherfucker, but sooner or later it's gonna catch back up with me. And then I'm gonna be like, damn, that's probably for that. I'm getting payback for that. I don't wanna go through that in my life. So just do the right thing. No, I'm not finna steal that. I'm gonna wait for what's mine. I'm gonna wait for everything that's mine. I'm not taking nothing from this world. The world's gonna give me what's mine, and when I'm done, I'm giving it all back. You understand? Sorry, I get long-winded.
No, I mean,
That
you're
was
good,
fire.
bro. No, it's fire. It's the guilty conscience, it's karma.
Oh, that's fire.
You know, I'm a big believer of karma, bro. Huge
Who wants a
believer.
guilty conscience? Do you know how hard
Dude,
it is
it's
to
the
fucking
worst
function with a guilty
feeling, dude.
conscience?
Hard.
Who
It's
the
the
fuck
worst
wants to deal with
feeling.
that every day?
Always looking over your back, all that stuff.
All the time. You know shit is coming towards you because you grimy.
Dude.
It's only a matter. You can't sleep. Oh, did they find out about this? Hey, I need to talk to you. Oh my God, did they find out about this?
Dude,
did they
that's
find out
the,
about
It's
this?
eating
that's the,
them
big,
up.
that's
It's
the
eating
biggest
them up.
reason why I don't do half the things in my life. Is because I'm always scared. That's like, I hate that feeling.
That's smart. Fear. See, you say fear of God is the beginning of knowledge. Fear of man is foolishness. You ain't got to fear no person. You ain't got to fear nothing. But just fear that when you're done with your life, you're going to be judged for it. That's karma. Karma is just judgment. What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
But there's a being responsible on his life for application of karma. And that, so he calls it judgment, though. So I'm going to give you, that's why he says, if you don't forgive nobody, I'm not forgiving you. If you walk up to me and you still got hatred in your heart for everybody else, don't expect me to give you love. You got to let that shit go. When you come to me, you got to say, Lord, I'm empty. I'm nothing. I'm sorry for everything I did. Just have mercy on me. There's nothing I could earn in this life. I don't care how good you do. You can't earn eternal life. Eternal life? No, you can't go. Because you've already fucked up. Each one of us has already committed a lie, did some shit
Oh,
that would
100%.
that disqualifies us from really earning eternal life. We could probably earn like a 200-year life or 300-year life, but you can't get eternity.
right.
You know what I mean?
You
gotta
get
think
that 5-year car warranty, bro. You don't get that 100,000 mile though, all right?
You know what I'm saying? So you have to think like that. Okay, every single time you make a decision, your eternity is on the line. Think about it like that. I got to keep building the good. I got to keep stacking these riches in heaven. Because when my death day comes, I got to be able to be like, you know what? I really did try to do the best I can. I know I fucked up a lot of times, never intentional. I always try to repay it. I always repented. I always said sorry to the people I was sorry to. I never made certain mistakes again. You probably got a good chance to transition to forever. But if you're in the deathbed and nobody's even around, the Bible says a man who dies and doesn't have anybody's funeral is a wicked man. If nobody wants to come and see you in your death days and stuff, then you probably didn't do good in life if nobody wants to come and see you. You see what I'm saying? And that's probably the end of a lot of people. When you're selfish, when you're ignorant, most of those people die alone. Yeah. Nobody wants to come and see you selfish. Your kid, maybe. Somebody who has a attachment to you, but it's not love. It's an attachment to you because of relation or something like
Yeah.
that. But it happens all the time. So you got to do right in life, man. You are going to live further after this body. This body is the clothes. That's why God was so upset when Adam put the fig leaves on. After he sinned, he said, who told you was naked? Motherfucker, the clothes I gave you was the clothes. Your
could you
sperm,
imagine
the
if
sperm, check this out. I'm gonna blow your mind off. You know what a sperm looks like, right? Yeah. You got the head of a sperm and then the tail. Mm-hmm. Do you know the head of the sperm is your pineal gland? It grows into your pineal gland. And your spine is the sperm, the tail. That's what the spine bone is. That's the tail of the sperm. So
It does look like that.
That is no.
Look like that.
That's is what. Look it up, research it. That's what it is. That the sperm grows into that part. Okay. Now that's why the pineal gland is there to read both sides of the brain to determine what's coming in, the information that's coming in from all the senses. The pineal gland reads it and distributes it from the spine to the neurological system. The neurological system grows out of the spine. So that's how the information gets recorded, and that's how we move our faculties and do everything that we do. Mm-hmm. So think about this. The sperm, you were the sperm in your daddy's nuts. Yeah. You did that whole entire travel.
So your skin is your clothes.
That's just your clothes. You're who you
What
are.
the fuck am I wearing this for? No, just
Yeah. Well, that's technically we don't need that. But so there's a being inside
Legally,
you.
we
You
need it now.
You are. There's a little guy inside of your brain that is your consciousness. There's literally a being. It's not like a separate being from you. It's part of you. That's why in the beginning he said, God created man from the dust of the ground, and he became a living soul. See, people don't know the difference between soul and spirit no more, and body. The body is the soul. You're moving, right? You're alive, right? You are the soul. Your thoughts, your being, your character, that's your spirit. Oh man, this guy got a bad spirit. He's always mean. He's always this. Yeah. Oh, this guy got a great spirit. I love being around his spirit. He's always cheerful. He's always positive. But you're the soul. You're an alive soul right now, and when you die, you're a dead soul. Your soul is dead. But your spirit, that's why in the Bible says, oh, John the Baptist came in the spirit of Elijah with the same character, with the same mannerisms, with the same energy. You know what I'm saying? So, because your spirit is who you are, but your body, that's the soul. So this is your living. You're a living soul. This is your opportunity right here. This is your chance.
Yeah.
Don't let your chance pass thinking in theory. Say, oh, well, maybe I got another life. Maybe in my next life. No. This is it, bro.
Yeah.
This is it, bro. And it's very fragile. You get hit too hard, you die. You get hit with a car, you get cut, or something, you die. It's very fragile.
Yeah.
It's so fragile that there's nothing you can do to be alive. You just got to be grateful that you made it, because an accident can happen and you get taken away. You didn't do nothing wrong. You weren't robbing nobody, but there goes life.
Yeah.
That's why so we know that our life is very flimsy. It can go at any time. That's why we have to have that gratitude. It's like, okay, I know for a fact, no matter what I do, shit can happen and I can die. Yeah. So I'm hoping shit. That's why every time I say something, hey, I'm going to be there, God willing. Every time I end a sentence, hey, I'm going to meet you there. Yeah, God willing. Hey, you going to come by today? God willing. That's the plan. Yeah. But I'm not going to act like I'm so confident in my life that, yeah, I'll be there at 7 o'clock if God will. But if he say, no, you know what? I'm tired of your ass. It's over with for you. Yeah. Then I'm not going to be there at 7 o'clock. So because I try to do that to show him I respect you every decision I make. Before I make a plan, I check with you to make sure, hopefully, you let me accomplish that plan. That's what living in fear is to me. I always live in fear of God. Oh, you going to do that? No. God's going to get mad about that. No, I ain't finna do that. Hey, let's go out to the street. But no, I ain't finna do that. Put myself in a bad situation for what? Hey, man, there's a lick right here. All we got to do is lie on the taxes. No, I'm good, bro. Next thing you know, God was like, Joe, you riding with me or not? Next thing you know, you got an audit and shit. It's like, damn, I know better. Yeah. He knew you knew better. You said earlier, oh man, sometimes I be feeling like I be talking to God and he don't be talking back. The Bible say a person who doesn't keep the law of God, his prayers is an abomination to God. He do not hear everybody's prayer. The Bible says he does not hear everyone's prayer. Only those who are seeking him with a pure heart. If you out here cheating on your wife, oh God, my bad. But then tomorrow, you know you're going to do it again. You're playing games, bro. I won't even forgive you over and over and over. There's a limit to my forgiveness. Keep playing me. Sooner or later, I'm going to cut you out of my life. And you think God's not the same way? You just going to play with him your whole entire life and think, oh, no, it's cool. Who the fuck is going to be in the lake of fire then if he's going to be cool with everybody? Yeah. Nah. You got to understand God is real. You can put the face on. You can put what you don't understand and characterize it in any imagination you want. But it's real. It's real. And there's things I can prove. Historical facts. There's things in the Bible, it's called prophecy, that tell you a future. And then there were so many prophecies. The Bible tells you 600 years before it happened that it was going to go from Babylon to the Medes, to the Persians, to the Grecians, to the Romans, the world power. If you look at history, that's how it went. How would they know this 600 years before it happened? That's evidence to me. These are evidence. The Bible says we come from the dirt of the ground. We're composed of 102 minerals. The dirt of the ground is composed of 102 minerals. That's evidence to me. If God said I come from the dirt, and scientifically the dirt has every mineral that we have in our body, that shows me that I come from the dirt. And how do I know? Because when I die and I go back in the dirt, I turn back into dirt. How easy is that to understand? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So God is real. Reincarnation is real. You will get foo-fopped. You know, if he loves you, he'll punish you here. If you find yourself doing all types of wrong and nothing ever happens to you, please believe he lets you go. Yeah. If you're just doing all type of wickedness and nothing bad ever happens to you and you're always getting away with it, he's going to pay you later. Yeah. But if every time you do wrong, it's like, I never get away with nothing, that's because he's paying, because he's keeping you in track. No, I ain't going to let that one slide. Oh, damn, this ain't working out. Good, because it was wrong anyways. Yeah. You know what I mean? Accept that. Accept correction. Don't try to get away with everything. Because if you get away with everything in life, you best believe it's just getting stacked up for you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got away with everything in life, Lord. Nothing bad happened to me. Yeah, I was saving that whole bag for right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
That
like
was a man always in your back.
Man,
Always got your back. Well, hopefully everybody listening,
yeah.
really kind of second guesses the decisions that they decide to make.
Soak all that in.
Soak all that
that's
in. You know what I
crazy.
mean? And knowing that everything that you do, there is a purpose for.
There's
You
a
know what I
purpose,
mean?
There's a price to pay.
Every situation that you're put in, every purpose, everything that you've been around and been through, everything's for a reason. Whether if it's a test, whether if it's just whatever it is. So hopefully, you make the right decisions and.
But why y'all looking at me?
No, man, just do things because it's right because you feel that is right. You know what I mean?
The reason I
Whatever
looked
it
at you is because you're young, so you still have time to reprogram your brain.
Exactly.
How young is everybody here?
I'm
He's 21.
He's 21.
I'm 26.
30, yeah, I'm 33.
Oh man, you guys are
Yeah, we're all
prime
here.
age, prime age, yeah, prime age.
You
good,
know, so
perfect.
man, we want to thank Franco for jumping on this podcast, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate
that,
y'all.
Franco.
Thank y'all for having
Man,
me
dropping
and
the
for letting me
knowledge in,
interject.
Bro, you got
Yeah.
me in a new perspective.
Yeah, that's the key.
crazy.
Just to plant a few seeds. Think about it.
That was
you
his
know?
purpose.
That's,
That's
that's
his
all.
blessing.
Exactly.
He's using his blessing right
Exactly.
Exactly. Because that's your job, and your job is to share too.
Yeah,
Have you ever taught him anything about cutting hair?
now. Yeah.
He taught me more than that,
Ah, so he was blessed with a gift,
and I
and
gotta
then he.
bless somebody else.
How do you think you keep it, and how do you think you get better at it?
Yeah. Let me tell you
Every
something
single time you
crazy.
teach somebody, you're gonna sharpen your even better and better. Every time you do it, you know what I mean. Go ahead. My bad.
Man, I'm gonna just say something real quick. So last night I get a text and they were like, "Yo," I'm not gonna say who it is because I don't want to put it on my blast or anything. But they were like, "Yo, I know like you're getting better at barbering and stuff, and you learn from Jordan. Can you let me know what you know, so I could be." Bro, that's crazy.
That's the spirit of Jordan.
That's crazy.
You know that, right? Like if Jordan cuts a certain boom, 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 you could. If he's teaching you, if he's taking what he knows and instilling it in you, then that's like carrying his legacy of barbering on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The same thing with our children. We raise them. That they're carrying our legacy. Everything we teach them, that's us. That's our little us. You know what I mean? So and you take it, own it, put your own twist on it. Eventually, your creativity will mesh into it, and then you
Pass it
give
on.
it to the next person, give it to the next person, give it to the next person. And that's something that and people, I tell people all the time, when you give someone something like a gift, that's way more than money. They'll never forget you. When you give them understanding and knowledge, when you change their perspective, they start associating you to another level of value. Like, no, this motherfucker, they're different. I fuck with this person because he gives me something more valuable. I can give you a couple dollars. That shit come and go, paper. But when I give you something, like they say, train a man to fish, or give a man a fish, he'll eat every day. But if you train him how to fish, he'll eat for the rest of his life. Same thing, you know what I mean? And when you give that out, it comes back to you. It comes back to you 1,000-fold, too. Bigger than you'll ever remember. You just gotta be patient.
Yeah.
You know, and earn your stripes. Because we be asking for shit that we can't handle. Be like, God, please, let me make 300,000 this year on my barbershop. Let everything blow up. And then he looking at your character and he's like, bro, you're greedy. You spend way too much money on alcohol and drugs. You be out splurging on this and that and the third. I'm not going to give you that because you don't have the character that you need yet to maintain it. So first, I'm going to give it to you. But so you're going to pray, God, please help me. Then he gives you nothing but issues. Hey, man, I asked you to help me. Yeah, I'm developing you.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you what you asked for. But you weren't ready for what you asked for.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you through a bunch of shit to develop your patience, develop your understanding, develop your kindness, develop all of that. And now it's like, okay, now you can handle it. Because now that's not going to piss you off. Now that's not going to entice you. Now that's not going to throw you off. But you couldn't handle it back then. You just have to be patient with God. You don't get what you want. He's not a genie.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to you. But I'm going to work on you first so that you can receive it.
He's not lying.
Yeah.
He's not lying. I've had multiple situations where you sitting down, you praying, you like, God, give me peace. And then that following week's a shit show. You're like, how I play for peace and I get this.
You gotta get through it too.
A lot of times we got to be careful what we ask for. We're asking for peace. He's showing us how to get to peace. He's going to put you through everything to get to peace. But if you ask God, allow me to use the peace I already have, that's when he cuts you the break. And he's like, you know what? You want to use that peace you got? All right. Take this week off. We'll start up again next week. But you constantly saying, God, give me peace, give me peace. All right, cool. I'm going to give you peace in the long run. You're going to get it 2-3 years from now. But in those 2-3 years, you're going to deal with X, Y, and Z.
Gotta climb over that mountain.
That's
Yeah.
a word right there. I never even thought of it like that.
Yeah.
I'd be doing that. I'd be like, Lord, I need more peace. I need more peace. Like, you got a level of peace though, bro.
Yeah,
You don't gotta worry
ask them,
about certain stuff.
Use,
You don't gotta.
Let me use the piece I got.
Yeah, I
We
gotta
gonna-
start thinking like that. I gotta start thinking of the peace I already have. Like, go just extend the peace I already have. Don't give me nothing new. Show me how to take care of what I got.
Yeah.
That's a good perspective.
It's kind of humbling yourself at the same time. It's like, look, I'm good where I'm at. I want to enjoy this real fast. Somebody taught me that, and I've been using it.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
I didn't
fire.
thought about
Fire.
that. Yeah, so.
All right, well,
Man, you sound like a little nip right now.
Damn.
we outside, baby.
Jeez.
That boy look like Nip.
Yeah, you
I know you heard it too. I bet you a lot of people like, though, you look like
Yeah.
Nip brother. You look like Nip. You look like you're in part of that family.
Yeah.
Bro,
you
when
straight
I,
up.
when I had long hair, I used to get that all the time. I got family in California, and when they came to visit, that was the first thing he said. He was like, "You ever heard of Nipsey Hussle?" I'm like, "Nah, who's that?" This one Nipsey was like
Like some
underground rap.
Mixtape.
Yeah, he was underground rap. I'm like, "Nah, who's that?" He's like, "Man, search him up on YouTube." He was like, "You look just like him." I had long hair and everything. And I searched him up, and I'm like, nah, that's no way. He even posted a picture of me. This is when IG first came out. He posted a picture of me on IG, tagged Nipsey Hussle, and was like, if you ever do a movie about your life, reach out to my cousin. He looked like you when you were little.
Damn, that's fire.
I swear.
I remember when I used to
Hopefully he
listen
hits
to
me up
Nip.
for something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started listening to Nip early, and I would tell my guys about him. They're like, "Man, who the fuck is that?" they did disregarded him.
Yeah, but nah, he got so much knowledge. I love Nip.
Now,
Man.
and then he came
Yeah.
back like 3 years later. You heard about Nip? I'm like, bro, I tried to put you on him 3 years ago, bro.
Yeah,
He was on another level from the beginning.
yeah. Man, got some knowledge. But I think that's gonna wrap us up for today, ladies and gents. Yeah. We'll be back. We'll probably come back in a couple days.
We'll be back.
Get another one in there.
I'm ready for it. Let's
Throw
get it.
another one in the books.
yeah.
I appreciate you, Franco.
Shout
I
out
appreciate
to
y'all,
that.
man. I appreciate y'all
Yeah,
having some
man.
confidence in me, having some patience with
Man,
me.
we just,
course,
you know,
bro.
you plant that seed in us, and we gotta take it and run with it.
I know. I'm already checking y'all out. People be adding y'all already. I be seeing little comments. I'm like, okay, they already have motion.
Yeah.
Like 6 months ago, if this was the idea, because I know you've been thinking about it, you had no motion. Now you've already implemented it, started it. You got fans, supporters, and you got motion. People who are looking forward to it. You can't take that. You got to keep growing now. You got to keep evolving. It's like anything else. You've already started. You were men. We got to finish where we start. Now kids keep evolving.
We are the
evolving.
sperms looking for our destination right now, dude.
The next thing for me, the next
We
thing
are
is
swimmers,
we need
bro.
we need to find a national barber, a popular national barber, and bring him in.
He's already here. What's up, guys?
Oh yeah,
I'm just joking.
Somebody who has taken the time to be an influencer.
Oh,
though.
okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's me.
Because you
Just-
know what I'm saying. Pick brains and
No,
stuff.
yeah, 100%.
Get a crowd in here.
100%.
You know what I'm saying. People come in and check it out, and because there's weight here, bro. There's a lot of weight here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Appreciate everybody.
You want to close?